And some latest news coming in. This is an update on the cyclone Biparjoy. Over 20,000 people have been evacuated to safer places in the affected districts, according to the IMD department. Cyclone will hit between Mandvi and Jakmon in Kutch on the 15th of June. 17 teams of the NDRF and 12 teams of the SDRF have been deployed. Now, as I said, the cyclone is expected to hit between Mandvi and Jakmon in Kutch on the 15th of June. 17 teams of the NDRF and SDRF have been deployed. Thousands of people, about 20,000 people, have been taken to safer locations. This is a smart work that has been done by the administration, including the state and the central government, to ensure that the loss of life and damage to property is minimum and the human cost to natural disasters like these can be averted. We also heard the top authorities, including the Union Home Minister, speaking on this particular issue. My colleague Vinaya Deshpande with us on the broadcast. Vinaya, the details you have.
I'm sorry, if I may request you to repeat the question.
So we were talking about the fact that about 20,000 people have been taken to safer locations. There are teams of NDRF and SDRF that have been deployed. So the administration has done its bit to ensure that the loss to life and property is minimum, right?
Well, yes, as of now, there isn't any report of such losses. Remember, NDRF by itself has deployed 17 teams in different locations. So has SDRF. Several places where there is need of evacuation, the administration is working on war footing where 20,000 people have been evacuated to safety right now. Remember, it's still a day and a half at least by when the cyclone is expected to make a landfall between Kutch region and Karachi. And so that's why right now, massive efforts are going on with respect to making sure that several pockets which are either low-lying areas or which have any possibility of flooding or heavy winds affecting them. Those areas are where the focus is, where people have been evacuated. The Home Department is specifically keeping tabs on the situation. As of now, what we have learned is that 20,588 people have been moved to safety. This includes people who have been moved from Junagadh, from Kutch, from Jamnagar, Porbandar, Dwarka, and from Gir Somnath, Morbi, as well as Rajkot.
Right.
So as of now, even the Coast Guard has been pressed into service. So has the Navy been. High alert has been issued at several locations. In fact, an orange alert has been issued for the coastal region, some of the coastal areas of Gujarat. There is a yellow alert for Mumbai. Fisher folks have been advised to not go out in the high seas. As of now, I am myself just a few kilometers away from Dwarka, which is also facing heavy rains as well as heavy gusty winds. And, the situation here seems to be a bit precarious, especially with respect to the rainfall that has been continuing. Back to you.
Right. Vinaya, there's been a coordinated response from the center and the state, and that's heartening to see. And if we look at the trajectory in the last I believe 5 to 6 years, the manner in which we've been able to avert the loss of life and property when cyclones like these hit, it's also a statement on the prediction system that we have and the kind of journey India has had, from cyclones claiming hundreds of lives to these proactive measures that the governments can take now.
Well, there is absolutely no doubt about that. In fact, not only with respect to Gujarat, we have seen that both the Prime Minister as well as the Union Home Minister have held meetings with respect to preparedness of the state about handling of the cyclone. But let's also understand that, over the last few years, due to climate change, due to several other factors, the cyclonic pattern has changed as well. So, in fact, there was a time when the western coast did not face many cyclones. It was very rare for the western coast to face cyclones. We saw the fury of cyclones mostly hitting on the eastern coast, and we would see that most of the time it would be Odisha or West Bengal, which would have had to face the brunt. And that's why Odisha, in fact, started with this impeccable model of proactively making sure that the disaster control measures were put in place.
Right.
The similar measures we have seen are being put in place in the western belt as well. Now that we have seen that cyclones have been frequenting last year, Mumbai had faced the brunt. Uran had faced the brunt. This time on, it is Gujarat which is preparing for the landfall of the cyclone. Back to you.
Right. Right, Vinaya Deshpande getting us all the details. Let's also have a look